Welcome back to the Battle of the Bets, where the best bet wins. We have a very entertaining selection ahead, so please, without further ado, a very special recap from our own Chucky the Rain Man. Please, Chucky, tell us what you think about Liz.
Welcome to week 2 of Battle of the Bets. I'm Chucky the Rain Man. This is week 2, folks. I told you about week number 1, freak week in the NFL. Crazy things happen. There's Liz and her dog Bella. What kind of Packer fan calls her dog Bella instead of Favre or Barb or something like that? Now this wine-sniffing, dog-loving housewife comes in, sits on the couch and says, "Oh, let's try Green Bay. Why not? Yeah, let's bet $100, 40% of the bankroll." All she had to do was just say, take a minus of 3 points. She could have bet 110 to win 100. Now she's only up $60. But by some fluke, she's winning this contest. That's what I tell you about week 1. Week 1 is always a fluke in the NFL, and that's why she's on top. I guarantee you she won't make it past the halfway point, just sitting there betting 40% of her bankroll, picking Green Bay each and every week.
So Liz won last week, so say whatever you want, Chucky. But please, tell us about Patrick.
Patrick, all right, he's a guy, he seems like he's very well educated, good demeanor, seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He knows the game of football, supposedly. But Patrick, 40% of your bankroll, you bet 40%. It's 100 out of 250 on the Atlanta Falcons. Now this, you duped your fans. I'm questioning that pick. And you got to think about the Atlanta Falcons. They do not have the same offensive coordinator. You better rethink about picking Atlanta, especially this week against Green Bay. I'm not touching the game, but Patrick, I lost a lot of respect for you with that pick.
Patrick won last week as well, so thanks, Chucky. But what about Tebow?
Tebow, he said something about the Pittsburgh Steelers, this lock. Okay, they didn't even come close to covering the spread. And what's with this airplane shot that they're going to soar to victory? The last time I checked in the NFL, a 3-point victory is eking out a victory. It's not soaring to victory. You barely won by the skin of your teeth, and you laid $25 to win $5.33. That's not good money management. That's not how to make a living at gambling. That was a very, very weak pick.
Tebow also won. So Chucky, let's spill some dirt on the losers. What'd you think about Luke?
Luke, he's a Chicago Bears fan. He's worked for the Bears. All right, I understand you wanted to bet the Bears. But Luke, you got 7 free points and you blew it. You decided to go with the money line and you tried to make 2.5 times your money. You were greedy. You lost the game because you went for the money line. If you would have taken the 7 points, you'd be in the winner's circle. But now here you are with us. In week 2, you're going to have to come back. And believe me, the Bears don't cover the spread too often, so you're going to have some problems this week.
Yo, Chucky, are you sure you want to talk smack about the parlay goddess? I mean, she's a goddess.
The parlay goddess. Parlay goddess with a 3-team parlay. 2 of those were heavy favorites. You barely were going to get 3 to 1 on your money there on that play. You lost 2 out of 3 of those games. You lost more than 10%, closer to 15% of your entire wagering pool. And if you keep doing that every week, you'll be gone by week 5. Parlay goddess, you're going to need a miracle. Now, I know that the Lions came back in the 4th quarter to beat the Cardinals. 7 games in a row, the Cardinals had them, and they blew it in the 4th quarter. What can I tell you? It's week 1. It's freak week. It happened again. That's why I bet so small. I bet smaller than all of my opponents, and I'm smart for doing it because several of my opponents lost week 1, and they lost big.
So Chucky lost last week, and we've heard him talk about himself enough. So here's our current standings. If you want the details of the game or a bio of our contestants, go back and watch episode 0 for a recap, or for the show description, you can always check out our website. Let's move along to this week's picks and see what they have to say. Chucky, take it away.
Now, let's talk about this week. It's very critical. Now, if you don't believe me that week 1 is a fluke, let me tell you what the stats are right now. The New England Patriots are tied for last place with the New York Jets. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in sole possession of first place. The Los Angeles Rams are in sole possession of first place. Now, this is not normal in the NFL. This doesn't happen. This is week 1, freak week. It's over with, it's done with. We are now in week 2. Let me start with my first pick. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs had a big win last week against the New England Patriots. They ran up the score unbelievably. Now, here's what's going to happen. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and most of you out there are thinking this is a letdown. They won big, they beat the Super Bowl champs, they're in for a letdown. But there's one more thing to consider here. The Eagles also won a big game. They beat a division rival, the Washington Redskins. Now, these two teams going in with the win, the Philadelphia Eagles can afford to lose a game. They don't expect to beat Kansas City, but the Chiefs have the Raiders and the Broncos to deal with. That's a very tough division. The Kansas City Chiefs must win each and every game. They go into each game with a winning mindset. The Eagles can get by with losing this game. The Chiefs cannot. The Chiefs need this game. Right now, the line's sitting at 4.5. It's probably going to go up before game time. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. So my first play is a regular play, 11 to win 10 on the Chiefs. All right, now, folks, for my second pick, I'm going to be the first one to pick an over-under. Why do I do that? Because I am the Rain Man. I'm a numbers guy. Over-under is all about numbers. Now, Green Bay playing Atlanta in their brand new stadium for the first time. What does that mean? That means the Atlanta fans are going to be wild and excited about their club. Atlanta knows that they need to score points, and Rodgers is going to need to do a lot better than he did last time he was in Atlanta because they got beat bad. They don't want to get showed up again. They're going to show up here. Green Bay really wants this game too. What does that mean? They're going to be clashing, and we have the possibility of an overtime game, which is great for people who go over on the total, which is what I'm doing. We're going over the 53.5. Green Bay and Atlanta, that's my second pick. We're calling that one a two-star pick. We're going 22 to win 20, Green Bay, Atlanta, over the total. Finally, my best play of the week, I'm doing a three-star pick on this one. This one's fairly obvious. Everyone out there who's looking at this game is thinking, okay, we're at the Superdome. We've got Drew Brees, Tom Brady. This game is going to go through the roof. This is another chance of a possible overtime here. New Orleans was very disappointed last week. They know they're going to have to do a lot better than they did against Minnesota, but they're at home. They're at the Superdome. That's where Drew Brees is at his best. This game is going to be bombs away. One more thing, the Patriots usually don't lose 2 games in a row. It's very rare for them. So both of these teams really need this. No one wants to go 0-2. It's not a death sentence, but it's something that nobody wants to be, 0-2. So this game is going to be not only a close game, but it's going to be bombs away. And what does that mean? That means that there's going to be incomplete passes, which stops the clock. More plays equals more points. 3 stars, 33 to win 30, over 53.5 on the New Orleans, New England game this week. Those are my 3 picks. Now, just remember what the guy said in the 80s. I've got the brains, you've got the looks. Let's make lots of money.
Thank you, Chucky. Luke, what are you gonna do this week?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Lucas again with Battle of the Bets, coming here to make my Week 2 picks. As much as I regret to say it, I have to use my head with this one and not go with my heart. So to kick it off, I'm going to be taking the Packers money line. I mean, the Bears realistically handled the Falcons last week, and Packers are getting a few points, so I feel like they should for sure be able to take care of business. Bears should have won last week. Unfortunately, they didn't. Next, I'll be moving on. I'm going to take the Rams -3, and I'm also taking the over in the Jaguars-Titans game. Just a quick side note, I don't know if you are, those of you that are tuned in, you're watching this girl that's a Packers fan, like, unbelievable. She's feeding her dog different types of cheese every week. That's the type of behavior that the Packers fans and organization contributes to. That's what they promote. It's just absolutely absurd. So, yeah. See what happens this week. Got to come out with a win, otherwise I'll probably be going home.
Good luck, Luke. Nice picks. And now, moving on to last but not least, Tony, the parlay goddess. Take it away.
Hi, this is the Parlay Goddess. I switched my look up a little bit because I was a little depressed that I'm in last place after last week, but we're going to get it going again. So this is this week's parlays. So the first team is the Baltimore Ravens at -400 to beat the Browns. I was really impressed with the Ravens, and so I'm going to go with them this week, and I think they're going to be a great pick. Next team is the Chiefs at -240, another team that had an impressive week last week, so I'm going to go with them, and I think they're going to be a perfect pick. And for the third game, I'm going with the two teams that burned me last week. So I'm taking the Titans at minus 125 to beat the Jags. In the end, it has a payout of plus 219, so I'll be betting $100 to win 219 because I really don't want to get knocked out in this last week, so I'm going to be betting it all. Parlay Goddess checking out. See you next time. Peace.
Okay, the show isn't over. Last week, Liz was in first place, which means she gets to send one of her compadres back to the elimination round. Tebow or Patrick? Who you gonna choose, Liz?
Hey guys, it's Liz checking in. Because the Packers won last week and thus I also won, I was tasked with choosing one of the other winners to move to the loser circle. Because I feel bad selecting anyone who doesn't truly deserve it to go to the loser circle. I flipped a coin, and Patrick, I'm sorry, but you are the loser. I think fate maybe also made the correct decision because you're my stiffest competition thus far and a big bettor like me. So I'm sorry, but you will be in the loser circle this week.
Sorry, Patrick. Tell us how you feel and who you're picking.
So even though I'm in the elimination round, I take that as a challenge, and I'm excited to put it all on the line this week. This week, I'm going to pick the Niners to upset Seattle for $25 to win 160 on a plus 625 money line bet. The reasons why is that in Seattle it's forecast to be raining today. If you watched last week's game, Seattle versus Green Bay, it was a very low-scoring game, and with the subpar Green Bay defense, I don't look for Seattle to do any more damage to 49ers defense. That's pretty good. And in terms of the Niners offense, I think under the new reign of head coach that formerly was Atlanta's head coach, offensive coach, they were slightly off in terms of scoring points, but I can see them coming back and upsetting the Seattle Seahawks this week. And that's my pick.
May the gambling gods look down on you kindly. And those are all the picks for this week on Battle of the Bets. We hope you follow along next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific and see who ends up being the winner and who ends up being the loser. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when new episodes are posted. And for more information, don't forget to follow us on Twitter for updates and check out our website for more information. We will see you next week on the Battle of the Bets. Hooah!